Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Codemaster7000 as you would be knowing, and today we'll be doing the first code review. So until now the first 7 videos on this channel, one was an introductory, but 6 were chess videos, chess related content, and one of them was Wordle and one of them was a flight landing YouTube shorts which did quite well on the YouTube algorithm. But today we're back to the main aim of this channel, which is technology and coding. Now, just a quick apology, just to do with noise. I'm right now in India and it's exceedingly hot, touching almost 40 degrees in the daytime. So, apologies if you hear the fan noise or some faint air conditioning. Unfortunately, you and I are just going to have to bear with that for a short upcoming time. Now, back to the point of today's video. Today, we will be reviewing a game written by Smashed Frenzy 16, who is a friend of mine, and as outlined all through my GitHub, he has helped me work and run NetFruit Technologies. We have collabed on countless repositories and have really kind of helped each other throughout our GitHub journeys. And he's given me permission to review this game. And rock, paper, scissors, lizard spot, just some basic information. It is a version, or rather an extension, of the traditional game rock, paper, scissors. And just so you all know, as is shown in the file extension, it is written in Python. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is the code, and we'll be doing this review in 2 stages. Firstly, we'll be looking at the raw code only, and then we'll be looking at the implementation of it, the graphics, the GUI, the game functions, and how this game could potentially be improved. Now, some of the more advanced programmers might be looking at this and you might be like, it's only 56 lines in Python. Well, yes, I thought that we'd start with a relatively simpler game. I have written quite a few programs which are hundreds of lines in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, but as it's the first review, I thought we'd start with something relatively simple. So what can you see in the first 2 lines? You can see that Smash Frenzy 16 has used Tkinter for the graphics. He's imported all of the functions as shown in import star, and he has also imported random so that the computer would choose a random set of outcomes when choosing whether to put rock, paper, scissors, lizard, or spot. So root equals to tk, that just labels the Tkinter window as root. And now we have this called list of outcomes. And the list of outcomes is basically just a variable which has all of this in it. These are all the potential outcomes that can occur when playing this game. So then we have this function called def execute 1. So this is the beginning of the gameplay as well as all of these. That is why they're called execute. And you can see that it is label root text u rock and label.grid row equals 0 column 1. These are just the graphics of the game. Then there's def execute 2, which is another function, and this is u paper. By the way, this is just the game, the way the game is set out. Again, the graphics. Then there's def execute 3, u scissors. Again, row 0 column 1, simply the layout of the game. Def execute 4 and def execute 5. Now, finally, you have the buttons. So this is quite simplistic. These are simply the potential choices that you can select. So you can select rock, paper, scissors, lizard, or Spock. And when you click on them, your input will be inputted into the system for the computer to read. And then finally, this is just the layout of the buttons, and then you have root.main loop. So not the most complex of code, but now we'll just look at the implementation. And I'm going to be using Python 3.10.4 IDLE for this. Now, I strongly recommend that if you code in multiple languages, you should use Visual Studio Code. And Visual Studio Code is great if, say, you're a beginner programmer, an intermediate programmer, an advanced programmer, especially, as I said earlier, if you code in lots of different languages. That way you don't have to install all of them separately. It is basically about 25, 30 different apps in one where you can download all of their packages, and it's just really convenient to use. I'd highly recommend you use it, and Smash Frenzy 16 also uses it for most of his code. So now we'll just, but since it's just in pure Python and it's quite short, I'm just going to be running it in IDLE only. Control S to save, and now we shall run the code. So what do we have here? We have a very small window which just says the buttons rock, paper, scissors, lizard, or Spock. If you click on rock, it will say you rock, computer, scissors. And as you would hopefully know from the game, if you choose rock and the computer chooses scissors, you win actually. And now you can say choose paper, and it will say that you choose paper, the computer chose scissors, and then you lose the game. You can choose, say, scissors, and if the computer chooses scissors, it is a draw. If you choose lizard and the computer chooses scissors, then you lose because the scissors will simply kill the lizard. So that is the way this game works. Now, it is quite simple, and now we can go on to how can this game be improved. So this game can first of all be improved with some more clarity, that which goes above which, that even I'm not 100% sure whether lizards goes over scissors, paper, or rock, whether Spock goes over lizards or scissors or paper or rock or whatever. So some more clarity should be provided in this game. Secondly, there should also be clarity over who won. Like, say, if you are new to the game and you're just pressing random buttons, you should know whether if you chose rock and the computer chose scissors, whether you won, lost, or draw. And in this case, you would win, right? So we know the game, and a lot of people watching, they would know the game. But if you didn't, a little bit more clarity would be useful for a lot of viewers. And if just this is a bit of an extension, I know at the time he was writing this, he wasn't the most advanced programmer, but an extension for people who are perhaps better at Python include a windscreen or just some better graphics. Like if you open this up, say if you run the exact code again, you can see that the window it comes in is very small and it's not really the most aesthetically pleasing. If you wanted to decorate the canvas more, or if you wanted to add a windscreen or a losing screen, that would be very good. But that is just some constructive criticism for Smash Frenzy 16 to potentially take into account if he watches this video. Other than that, I hope you really enjoyed it, and there will be some more coding, technology, and chess content soon on the way. Thank you.